Hey guys, and welcome back to another Skyrim Mods showcase, and in today's video, I'll be sharing my personal favorite UI mods with you. While Skyrim's default UI is fine, it's a bit outdated by today's standards, and this video will be a comprehensive rundown of what mods I suggest you to consider adding to your game. However, like with any mods, make sure to check the mod page for any requirements and feel free to skip any mods you don't like. So without further ado, let's dive right into the video. Let's start with the foundation mods. These are mods you'll probably need for many of the mods we'll talk about later. If you've been modding Skyrim for a while, you might already have some of these installed. First, we have SkyUI. SkyUI is a mod that totally revamps Skyrim's user interface, making it way better than Skyrim's vanilla interface. It gives a complete makeover to various menus like Inventory, Magic, Containers, Crafting, and a lot more. But that's not all. It also brings in some new handy features like item search, map search, gamepad support, and it's even available in multiple languages. With all these improvements and additions, it's no surprise that many UI mods build upon the foundation that SkyUI has laid. Next, we have TrueHUD. This mod comes with some cool features like floating info bars for both enemies and teammates, a boss health bar, and a lot more. Now, my personal favorite part of TrueHUD is the player widget, as it displays your health, magicka, and stamina bars along with an animated shout cooldown indicator and an enchantment charge meter. The mod also has a feature called Recent Loot, which gives you a notification whenever you pick up an item. Lastly, there's a special bar indicator. You may be wondering what's that for. Well, some other mods like Valhalla Combat or Poise make use of this special bar, as those mods can use it as a stun bar, similar to what you see in games like God of War or Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Next, we have moreHUD. This is another essential mod that brings in a bunch of handy features. For example, you can now see your carry weight and max carry weight, which you couldn't see in vanilla Skyrim. Another example is it lets you see the skill book's skill. This means that when you point your crosshair into a skill book, you will now see what school of magic the book belongs to. And I find this feature very handy because I will no longer need to read the book to know what school of magic it belongs to. The mod also adds your weight and your target weight when picking up items. And for armors, it now displays your armor weight class. It also indicates books you've already read, and even shows known ingredients effects, and there are a lot more added features. Overall, it's definitely a must-have quality of life mod that will surely enhance your gameplay experience. And finally, for our last essential mods, I recommend you guys to get RaceMenu. If you're not familiar with it, RaceMenu basically does a complete makeover of the character creation menu. Now you will be able to sculpt your character's looks, add war paints, body paints, and plenty more cool stuff. You can also now use presets made by others in the community, and even save your own character presets for others to use. Another cool feature is that in-game, if you ever want to switch up your character's appearance, you can simply open up your console and type the command show RaceMenu in your console. You will now then be able to edit your character without having to reset your whole game save. All in all, it's a fantastic addition and definitely something you shouldn't miss out on. Wait, before you skip, I am doing a giveaway right now. All you need to do is watch the short ad to know the mechanics and to know what you'll be getting. I want to thank Tainted Grail for sponsoring this video. If you haven't heard about this game yet, it's an open world first-person RPG game. The game is set in a dark fantasy world where you have to undergo quests and much more. The game recently got a big update with new graphical redesign, new gameplay, playstyles, new spells, quests, and a lot more. In case you're interested, links will be down in the description, and luckily for you, I am giving away one Tainted Grail The Fall of Avalon game code. All you need to do is like this video, subscribe, and comment this keyword. That's basically it. Thank you once again Tainted Grail for sponsoring the video. Now that we've got the foundation mods in place, it's time to spice things up with some interface overhauls to give our UI and HUD much needed quality of life upgrades. And to start off, we have Constructible Object Custom Keyword System, or also known as COT. This mod makes crafting menus a whole lot better by adding a smart category system. For example, when you're using the blacksmith forge, you'll start to see neat categories for weapons, armors, various armors materials, clothing, jewelry, miscellaneous items, and more. The mod isn't limited to just vanilla crafting stations. It works with mod-added crafting stations as well. And for those who are still confused about what I mean by crafting stations, they are blacksmith forge, tanning rack, smelter, oven, cooking pot, and anything else that crafts your items. Honestly, I think this mod makes navigating the crafting menus a lot smoother and keeping things more organized. Next up, we've got Detection Meter. This nifty mod powered by SKSE adds a detection meter that works just like those in Ubisoft games when you're trying to sneak around. While sneaking, you'll finally be able to tell which direction an NPC spotted you from. There's also a cool small animation that fills up when you are spotted by an enemy NPC. And when that meter fills up, it will turn red. Additionally, I recommend grabbing SkyAlert Detection Meter Vanilla presets, as this mod gives you extra choices for how you want your detection meter to look. And here are a few examples that you can choose from.
I'm warning you, back off. I'm warning you. Now ain't this a surprise? I'm warning you, back off. That's closer. Never should have come here.
Moving on, we've got Compass Navigation Overhaul. This mod takes inspiration from popular games like The Witcher 3, Horizon Zero Dawn, and God of War. Its main goal is to make your gameplay experience better by adding useful info to those quest markers, such as the marker's name and distance. This solves a common problem we face when we've got multiple quests active, since there will be times when we don't really know which quest a marker belongs to without opening the map. But with this mod installed, the mod fixes that. Another feature of this mod is that it adds a height difference indicator. So for example, if your quest marker seems to be on top of a cliff, a handy marker will pop up to let you know. And when you look at a quest marker, the current objectives for that quest will appear on the left side of your screen, saving you from diving into your main menu. There are a few more cool features, so if you want the full information about the mod, I recommend you guys to check out the mod's description page. Next, we've got the Dialogue Interface ReShaped. This mod gives our in-game dialogue interface a complete overhaul, and its aim is to make it more immersive. It shifts the dialogue to the side and even fixes some of the wonky controls that vanilla Skyrim has. It's a very straightforward mod that I highly recommend you guys to have. Next, we've got QuickLoot RE. If you guys haven't heard of this mod yet, this one's a real game changer. It's a must-have mod that brings a new way to loot items in both first person and third person. Normally, we had to open up the inventory of an object or NPC to see what they've got, and that can be very tiring to do so, especially when you're looting a bunch of stuff. But with this mod installed, There's no need to keep opening those menus over and over again, as we can already see the menu as soon as you go close or look at it. Furthermore, when using QuickLoot, I'd suggest grabbing better third-person selection, as this mod will really improve how you pick up items in the game. You see, in vanilla Skyrim, it's a hassle to select stuff in the world in third person because the item selection isn't all that great. But with this mod, it works a lot better, like it should in other RPGs. Instead of having to aim right at an object, you just aim in its general direction, and the mod does the rest. Here's how it decides on what item it should prioritize. First, it considers the type of object, giving less focus to miscellaneous items. Then, it looks at the value of the object, with pricier stuff getting priority, and in case if it still can't figure it out, it defaults back to the game's regular selection method. Also, a cool feature when surrounded by a lot of items, you can simply press shift and use your mouse wheel to cycle through all the objects nearby. It's a handy little addition that the mod author threw in, which I appreciate. Here's another cool simple mod to check out. It's called Oxygen Meter 2. It's a pretty straightforward mod. This SKSE plugin mod gives you an oxygen meter when you're underwater. I personally find it super handy because it keeps you aware of how much time you've got left before you need to come up for air. And to make our HUD even more informative, I suggest grabbing a matter of time a HUD clock widget. With this mod, you can get a handy clock right in your HUD that shows you the in-game time, the season, and even the real-world time, just in case you've lost track of time while immersed in Skyrim. What's amazing about this mod, you can tweak it to your liking using its own MCM menu, in case there's some elements you want to hide. Another neat mod I want to share is called Show Players in Menus. This one does a simple but a must-have mod. The mod lets you see your character when you open your inventory. Yes, now you can finally check out how your character looks without having to switch to third-person view. And when you switch your armor or weapons, you'll see the changes in real time. There are also two camera options available. Rotate player and rotate camera. With rotate player, your character turns to face you when opening up your inventory. While with rotate camera, your camera is the one that adjusts to where your character is facing. Personally, I prefer rotate camera because it feels a lot smoother for the camera to turn around instead of the character. Lastly, we've got Wheeler, Quick Action Wheel of Skyrim. This mod is all about convenience, giving you a quick action wheel that seamlessly blends into Skyrim's gameplay. Now, you can easily access spells, weapons, powers, shouts, potions, and more, all right from your quick action wheel. Basically, you can have as much wheel menu you want, and add more wheel slots. Then, in each wheel slot, you can have a number of items, which then allows you to store basically everything from your inventory. The mod kinda reminds me of GTA 5's wheel menu, where you can switch between weapons and there's even that cool slow motion effect when you use it. You can also get additional wheel reskins that are currently available on Nexus, such as the Elder Creed Wheeler reskin, Wheeler Valhalla icons, Wheeler Untarnished UI edit, Dragonborn Wheeler reskin, or even Edge UI Wheeler reskin. There are a lot more of options to choose from, so I'll leave that up to you. Well, that's all for our quality of life upgrades. Now it's time for mods that improve the item icons in-game. Remember, these are my personal preferences and you can keep it as is, or use these mods. First, we have Inventory Interface Information Injector. This framework allows you to inject new info and custom icons into SkyUI's inventory. It's a real game changer as it also comes with some vanilla improvements, such as letting you know the difference between books and notes. Yes, I know, finally that got fixed. But that's not all. There are now also colored icons in the favorites menu, and an added support for Beyond Skyrim and Worm's Tooth. Plus, you'll find some fresh vanilla icons, and the fishing rod gets the right icon it deserves. Since the mod is designed to be a framework, the next few mods I'll be showcasing in this video actually rely on it to work smoothly. For instance, there's immersive icons, and by utilizing Inventory Interface Information Injector, this mod brings in a bunch of fresh icons for different item types, more colors, and it's loaded with support for various other mods. One cool thing I really like is how it gives the spellbooks their own unique icons for each school of magic. It makes it way easier to tell which school of magic a spellbook belongs to. No more having the same or wrong icons for popular mods, as long as the mod supports what you're downloading. Plus, the author aims to add many more icons for various mods. To keep things consistent, I'd recommend grabbing phenomenally enriched and nuanced ingredients for SkyUI. This time, this mod focuses overhauling icons for alchemy ingredients. Like immersive icons, it spices up the colors and add new types and icons. Most ingredients now will have proper icons and even look pretty nice. Make your inventory a whole lot more pleasing. Now to finalize our icon overhaul, there's Aura's Scrumptious Supplement. This mod focuses on ingestible items, basically food related stuff, and just like immersive icons once again, it changes the item types, colors, and icons. All in all, these mods seriously step up the quality of your inventory icons. The icons are right and they look a lot better, so I definitely recommend grabbing all of these mods. Oh, before I forget to mention, I suggest picking up Wheeler Icon Embellishment, Naturally Exquisite Refinement, if ever you've already installed the Wheeler mod I talked about earlier, as this mod lets you use those cool immersive icons with the Wheeler mod. Now that we've got the icons sorted, let's dive into Interface ReSkins, where we can give our UI a whole new look and feel. Let's start with a reskin that's been quite popular and seen in most of my videos, the Dear Diary Dark Mode SkyUI Menus Replacer SC. This reskin gives a whole new look to pretty much everything: main menus, MCM, inventory, favorites, dialog menu, stats menu, and a lot more. Now, personally, Dear Diary Dark Mode has been my top pick for quite some time. But recently, I stumbled upon a relatively new UI reskin called Untarnished UI. Here's the thing, you'll still need Dear Diary Dark Mode as it serves as the foundation for this one. The key difference is that Untarnished UI modernized Skyrim's interface while keeping a touch of its original style. It gives it a cleaner and more polished look, which I personally prefer right now. Just remember, there are patches available for these mods to work with some of the mods we installed earlier, so be sure to check out the descriptions for each mod to keep everything running smoothly.
You should be talking to my steward.
Here's another UI reskin you should definitely check out: Nordic UI Interface Overhaul. This one's all about giving your Skyrim a Nordic vibe, which honestly fits the game's world perfectly. Some of the standout features of this mod include its own unique UI sounds, a skill menu background, a new shout meter, support for SkyHUD, QuickLoot, and a couple more cool additions.
You should be talking to my steward.
Lastly, for reskins, we have the latest contender, Edge UI. I personally have been following the mod author at Patreon for a couple of months now, and I must say, this is truly a unique and beautiful UI the author is making. Though as of now, it's still not fully finished, but a pre-release version is currently available with most of the UI already covered. I highly recommend you guys to check it out.
You should be talking to my steward.
Now to finish things up, I've got 2 more mods that I highly recommend. First up, we have Memospore, UI sound effect. This one's my personal favorite when it comes to UI sound effect mods, and trust me, it's a must-have. The sound quality and everything else about it just hits the mark. And here's a quick preview of the sound effects. Last but not the least, to close out this list, I'd suggest getting Sovngarde, a Nordic font. This mod switches up the in-game font to give it that awesome Nordic theme look. And that's basically it. I'd appreciate if you guys leave the video a like and subscribe to my channel, as this took a little while to make. I personally want to thank my channel members as well for being a member for more than 6 months. And of course everyone else who's watching this video right now. Well, that's all for today's video, and I hope you found it helpful. Don't forget to always stay safe and have fun in your Skyrim adventures. Happy modding, everyone!